So, hello guys, yung topic namin is all about transaction processing and financial reporting systems, overview ng chapter 6. So, learning objectives. Understand the broad objectives of the three transaction cycle and the types of transaction processed by each of them. Understand the relationship between traditional accounting records and their digital equivalents in computer-based systems. Be familiar with the documentation techniques used for representing manual and computer-based systems. Understand that technologies used to automate and re-engineer accounting information systems. Then, understand the operational features of the general ledger system and the financial reporting system. So, yung unang topic is all about an overview of transaction processing. So, yung objectives nito is about doon sa 3 transaction cycles. So, a financial transaction is defined as an economic event that affects the asset and equities of the firm, is reflected in its accounts, and is measured in monetary terms. The most common financial transactions are economic exchanges with external parties. These include the sale of goods or services, the purchase of inventory, the discharge of financial obligations, and the receipt of cash on accounts from customers. Financial transactions also include certain internal events such as depreciation of fixed asset, the application of labor, raw materials, and overhead to the production process, and the transfer of inventory from one department to another. So dito, financial transaction are common business event that occurs regularly. Ito yung mga transaction tulad ng sales to customers. In other words, a financial transaction is agreement between a buyer and a seller to exchange goods, services, or financial asset. So, next is about sa transaction cycles. So, yung ano nga ba yung transaction cycles? So, yung transaction cycles hold goods for financial transaction in accounting process to deal with voluminous load of transactions on daily basis. These transactions are grouped together based on common share of characteristic into transaction cycles. So, there are 3 transaction cycles process most of the firm's economic activity. So, ito yung expenditure cycle, conversion cycle, and revenue cycle. So, these cycles ay nag-exist sa lahat ng types of business such as profit seeking and non-profit seeking organization. So, yung una nating i-discuss is about sa expenditure cycle. So, business activities begin with the acquisition of materials, property, and labor in exchange for cash. Expenditure cycle. So, dito, expenditure cycle is the set of activities related sa acquisition of goods and services. So, pumapasok din dito yung payment sa goods and services. So, yung mga activity na yun, include dito yung purchasing activities, receipts of goods, tapos yung payment doon sa supplier. So, the major subsystem of the expenditure cycle are those that process purchases, accounts payable, cash disbursement, payroll, and fixed assets. So, ito yung major subsystem of expenditure cycles. So, una dito yung purchases or accounts payable system. This system recognizes the need to acquire physical inventory such as raw materials and place an order with the vendor. So, unahin natin yung sa purchases. So, sa purchases system naman, ito yung setup process used to acquire goods and services for an organization to. So, nare-record yung event by increasing the inventory. Then, yung tungkol naman dun sa accounts payable system, so dito naman pumapasok yung pays the bills of the business in an organized manner. So, yung goal nito is to make payment in a timely manner and to pay correct amount to the correct supplier. So alam naman natin kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng accounts payable. So yung next naman is about cash disbursement system. When the obligation created in the purchases system is due, the cash disbursement system authorizes the payment, disburses the funds to the vendor, and records the transaction by reducing the cash and accounts payable account. So dito naman sa cash disbursement system, so ito yung outflow of cash paid in exchange for the provision of goods and services. So it can also be made to refund to a vendor or customer. So mare-record ito as a reduction of sales. Then yung dun naman, add ko lang yung sa dividend payment. Ano siya? Inire-record naman siya as a reduction in corporate equity. So yung next naman is about payroll system. So the payroll system collects labor usage data for each employee, computes the payroll, and disburses paychecks to the employees. So dito sa payroll system, dito minamanage yung process sa paying employees and filing employment taxes. So yung next is fixed asset system. So a firm fixed asset system processes transactions pertaining to the acquisition, maintenance, and disposal of its asset. So dito naman sa fixed asset system is tinatrack and mini-maintain yung physical asset and equipment. So example nito is yung mga land, building, furnitures, and machineries. So punta naman tayo sa second transaction cycle. So ito yung the conversion cycle. So the conversion cycle is composed of two major subsystems, the production system and the cost accounting system. So yun sa sa the production system. So dito includes yung mga yung mga planning, scheduling, and control of the physical product through the manufacturing process. Then next naman is yung sa cost accounting system. So dito naman is minomonitor yung flow of cost information related sa production. So ano siya, framework siya na ginagamit ng firms to estimate the cost of their products for profitability analysis, inventory valuation, and cost control. Tapos dun sa performance reporting and management decision. So manufacturing firms convert raw materials into finished products through formal conversion cycle operation. So yung example ko dito is about doon sa input and output process. So sa input, doon pumapasok yung mga raw materials, then pupasok siya sa conversion process, then pupunta siya sa output bilang finished product. So yung next naman is about sa revenue cycle. So firm sells their finished goods to customers through the revenue cycle, which involve processing cash sales, credit sales, and the receipt of cash following a credit sale. Revenue cycle transaction also have a physical and a financial component which are processed separately. So dito sa revenue cycle, pumapasok yung cash collection and pag-process ng orders ng customer. So merong primary subsystem of the revenue cycle. Ito yung sales, order processing, and cash receipts. The primary subsystem of the revenue cycle are sales, order processing. The majority of business sales are made on credit and involve tasks such as preparing sales orders, granting credit, shipping products, or rendering of a service to the customers, billing customers, and recording the transaction in the accounts receivable, inventory, expenses, and sales. So dito sa sales order processing, action siya ng business to fulfill a customer purchase. Then next is yung tungkol dun sa cash receipts. So for credit sales, some period of time, days or weeks, passes between the point of sale and the receipt of cash. Cash receipts processing includes collecting cash, depositing cash in the bank, and recording these events in the accounts AR and cash. So dito, sa cash receipts naman, dito na yung collection of cash from customers. So yung next is yung about doon sa figure 6.1, relationship between doon sa transaction cycles. So mag-i-start tayo dito sa customers. So pupunta siya sa revenue cycle kung saan napoprocess yung order ng customer. Then mapupunta siya sa expenditure cycle na kung saan nagkakaroon ng acquisition of goods and services. Then pagkatapos sa expenditure cycle, mapupunta siya doon papuntang conversion cycle. So dito na napoprocess yung input and output process. So pumapasok dito yung about doon sa labor, materials, then physical plant. So pagkapunta doon sa conversion cycle, magkakaroon ng process, then doon na pumapasok yung pagpa-planning and scheduling. Then pagkatapos doon, mapupunta siya sa output as finished goods. So babalik siya sa revenue cycle na kung saan dito na pumapasok yung cash collection. So mapupunta na yung finished goods sa customer. Then next topic is about accounting records. So dito naman is yung relationship ng accounting records in forming both manual and computer-based system. So first is manual system. So ano nga ba yung manual system? So dinidescribe yung purpose of each type of accounting record used in transaction cycles. Sa manual system, nandito yung documents, journals, and ledger. So, documents. A document provides evidence of an economic event and may be used to initiate transaction processing. So, yung document is a record of events. So, merong 3 types of documents. Ito yung source documents, product documents, and turnaround documents. So, yung first is source documents. Economic events result in some documents being created at the beginning, the source of the transaction. So, yung source of documents, so, this is used to capture and formalize transaction data that transaction cycle needs for processing. So, yung source document din is used for evidence. Then next is about sa product documents. Product documents are the result of transaction processing rather than the triggering mechanism for the process. So, yung lang naman, yung product document lang naman, ito yung bill or yung payment. Then next is about dun sa turnaround document. So, turnaround documents are product documents of one system that become source documents for another system. So, dito lang naman sa turnaround document, proof of payment lang naman siya. So, siya? Proof of payment document sent by a customer to a business. So, ginagamit yan para malaman na nabayaran na yung isang product. So, ito yung example ng source document. So, dito sa figure 6.2, creation of a source document. So, pumapasok dito yung diba? Yung sa customer's order. Tapos nagkakaroon ng data collection. Tapos, yung source document na nakalagay din, sales order. Ito yung mga evidences. So, papasok siya sa sales system kung saan nandito yung mga information in the sales order tulad ng description of transaction, yung date, at yung specific amount of billing. Then next naman is about product documents. So lang siya, extension lang siya nung kanina. So dito, ito lang yun naman yung nadagdag yung bill, remittance advice. So lang siya, ayan lang yung yung pinaka-payment niya, yung bill ganun. Then next naman is yung sa turnaround documents. So, extension lang din siya katulad nung kanina. So, dadagdag lang yung tungkol dun sa check remittance. Check, then remittance advice po pala. So, ano na. So, ito lang naman, di ba yung sinabi ko kanina, na proof of payment lang. So, nakakatulong siya sa business. Kasi nalalaman na nabayaran na yung isang product. So, doon na rin papasok yung cash receipts system. So, yung next naman is about journals. A journal is a record of a chronological entry. At some point in the transaction process, when all relevant facts about the transaction are known, the event is recorded in a journal in chronological order. So, dito naman sa journal, siya? So, yung documents, yung primary source of data for journals. So, ito yung tungkol dun sa journal. So, figure 6.5, sales order recorded in sales journal. So, dito sa figure 6.5, sales order is recorded sa sales journal. So, dito may kita yung accounts affected at yung amount kung ano yung nasa debit and credit. So, there are two primary types of journal. Uno doon is yung special journal. So, special journals. Special journals are used to record specific classes of transactions that occur in high volume. So, dito lang naman sa special journals are used to record specific types of high volume information. Then, yung next is, register. So, lang naman siya. Yung, dinidenote lang naman niya yung certain type of special journals. Then, next naman is about dito sa general journals. Firms use the general journal to record non-recurring, infrequent, and dissimilar transaction. So, dito sa general journal, lang naman siya. Yun, sa pagkakaalam ko dito, ito yung yung book siya ng original entries. So, dito sa figure 6.6, pinapakita yung about sa sales journal. So, dito lang naman, record siya ng sales transaction. So, makikita nyo yung amount na nakalagay sa ledger na nasa next topic. Then, dito naman sa general journal, siya, sa figure 6.7, lang siya, yung entries is naka-record in which events or record occur. Ganun lang. Then, sinasabi rin dito na most of organizations replaced their general journal with journal voucher system. So, yung sa journal voucher system kasi are used to record summarizes. So, yung next naman is about ledger. So, a ledger is a book of accounts that reflects the financial effects of the firm's transaction after they are posted from the various journals. So, there are two basic types of ledgers. So, ito yung general ledgers and subsidiary ledgers. So, dito sa ledgers, ini-indicate yung increases, decreases, and current balance ng mga amount. Ginagamit ito ng mga organization to prepare financial statement, to support daily operations, and prepare internal reports. So, yung dito sa figure 6.8, flow of information from the economic event to the general ledger. So, lang siya, extension lang din siya nung doon sa kaninang figure about sa sales journal. So, dito, pumapasok na yung accounts receivable, subsidiary ledger, and general ledger. So, dito kasi sa general ledger, which contain the firm's account information in the form of highly summarized control account, and yun dito naman sa subsidiary ledger, it contains the details of the individual account that constitute a particular control accounts. So, ayun lang po yung report ko, and the next reporter is RG Solamo.